Hey there, welcome. Welcome to Rise and Receive. This is an opportunity in your day to stop whatever you're doing and explore how to receive fulfillment in your life by unlearning struggle. So today we're going to talk about how your body holds the key to surpassing your limits with greater ease and greater speed. So before we move into this, I invite you to just think about where is it in your life that you have a goal or a dream and you feel like you're hitting some sort of a limit, an upper limit, like you can only get so far. So it might be in the realm of relationships. Maybe there are some relationships in your life that you wish were better, that you'd like to improve, that you'd like to heal, and you don't know how to get beyond a certain point. Maybe you are single and would like a primary romantic partnership, and you can only get so far in receiving that, attracting that, manifesting that. Maybe it's in the realm of work or career, where you'd like a different job, or you'd like some more meaning or more purpose, or making more money, more recognition, a promotion. Could be with your body. Maybe you're hitting some sort of a limit with health or symptoms or vitality or well-being or your sense of beauty and attractiveness. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's your finances. Maybe you'd like to go beyond a certain upper limit with how much money you have flowing in your life, your capacity to generate more, manifest more, or tap into greater flow. So whatever your limit is, just take a moment to just acknowledge that, because this will really give you a new way of approaching surpassing this limit. And here's the key: with greater ease and speed, because we can surpass our limits, but for some of us, if we approach it, it's very hard work. And that's what we're not about at Rise and Receive. We're about ease and speed. So if you don't know me, my name is Sonia Miller. I'm a coach, speaker, and best-selling author, and I mentor ambitious, goal-oriented people to surpass their limits with ease and speed. And the way I love to do this is to illuminate the skill set that I call receiving. Because I like to say, if you want to, I actually flubbed up my own words. You cannot receive what you most want if you don't know how to receive. And most goal-oriented, ambitious people don't know how to receive. What we know how to do is how to work hard. We're really, really good at that. And so when it comes to our upper limit issue, we'll keep working hard till the cows come home. I call it the hard work treadmill, where you just keep walking and walking and working hard and working hard. But what is a treadmill? You never actually get there. And that happens when you don't have the receiving skills, which allows you to stop the hard work and receive what you've been working hard for. And so you overcompensate on what you do know how to do, which is you work even harder. So we're here to just debunk all of that. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. So with that, we're going to talk about receiving and how that applies to your body as the key to surpassing your limits with greater ease and speed. So think about this upper limit issue that you have in whatever area of life. And I'd like you to think about how you usually go about surpassing that limit. What strategies do you use? How do you approach it? What do you think is required for you to surpass your limit? Now, if you're like most people, if you're like most goal-oriented, ambitious people, hardworking people, chances are good that when you have an upper limit issue, the very first thing you do is you try to figure it out. You view the upper limit issue as a problem to solve. And it's so automatic. It's so just built into how many of us were raised, how we've learned to cope and survive, the culture that we live in, that we really don't know any other way. So what we tend to do is we start to figure out and analyze and problem solving. And then the next thing that can happen either simultaneously or after a bunch of thinking is we start trying to take action and do these different tactics and strategies. So we operate as a human doing. I call it analysis and avoidance. Analysis and avoidance. So what is it that we're avoiding? Because the analysis is easy. But what is it that we're avoiding when we're in all of this hard work? What we tend to be avoiding are our feelings, our body, our sensations in our body. So I'm going to get back to that in a little bit, but I'd like you to just see if that rings true for you. Now, something you may have heard me say in the past, Rise and Receives, is your consciousness creates your reality. And that's one of the basic fundamental principles that we stand on when we explore how to surpass our limits with ease and speed. Now, here's the thing about consciousness. What is consciousness? If you've been around me for a while, you'll know and you'll hear me say, well, your consciousness is the sum total of everything happening in your body, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your sensations, your memories, your beliefs, your conditionings. There's this whole inner world terrain. But what happens for most people, especially if you're an ambitious, goal-oriented person, is you over-rely on thinking. You think that thinking is where all of your power is. If I can just figure this out, then I'll find the solution, right? This points to the blind spot of the day, because I love to illuminate blind spots. I call it the thinking blind spot. And that's what happens. When you have the thinking blind spot, you think, if I'm going to surpass my upper limit, I'm going to figure this out. But thinking, when you need to open up to another skill set, which is feeling, believe it or not, feeling is a skill that a lot of people have disconnected from or find that they're malnourished because they weren't supported, validated, valued for their feelings, for feeling sensations in our bodies. The thinking blind spot will cause you to think, thinking is where it's at, feeling is useless to me. Or at very least, I don't know the value of feeling. I don't know the power of feeling. Feelings are just messy. They get in the way. They interrupt my capacity to think and figure this out. That's the avoidance part. So when you are over-relying on thinking to dissolve your upper limit issue, you'll be in analysis and avoidance of your feelings. What are feelings? They are experiences, sensations, awarenesses, energy, a perception that occurs in your body. In your body. Now just imagine for a moment that you're willing to buy into this idea that feeling is actually a good thing, a valuable thing, a powerful thing, a useful thing, and a productive thing. Just imagine, right? And meanwhile, you've been over-relying on thinking. Thanks, Lisa. I love this stuff too. So you've been over-relying on thinking. Let's say just for the sake of fun, a fun game or an argument, playing devil's advocate, you said, you know what? If feeling is really as legitimate and powerful and useful as thinking is, how much airtime have I given to thinking in my life? And how much airtime have I given to feeling? Most people, when you just start to look at it that way, you're like, what's feeling? I never feel. And if I do feel, I'll do anything in my power to avoid it, to suppress it, to run away from it. I don't even know how to deal with it. But what if I told you that feeling is like a superpower? And it is the thing that opens the floodgates to all the things that you want. Furthermore, what if I told you that feeling, to feel, in other words, quote, I feel, period, is a complete sentence. If you simply were able to feel. Now, that, in my experience as a human being and as a coach for over 20 years, is actually the truth. Your body, your capacity to feel sensations in your body, experience emotions as energy that flows through you, is the thing that in consciousness, remember your consciousness creates your reality, opens the floodgates, because when you feel feelings, you release resistance like that. Okay? So here's a really good way to look at it. All right? So let me just do a little bit of a recap because I know I'm talking about a lot of things. Consciousness creates your reality. Your consciousness occurs at the thinking level, but it also occurs at the thinking level, at the feeling level, at the body level, the sensations. So let's say I were to tell you everything that you want, every dream that you have already exists. It's right here, right now. You are whole, you're complete, and life is always offering it, which is, by the way, the presupposition that I come from in all that I do, teach, and live by. Okay, it's already here. There's nothing missing. You don't have to find it. You don't have to be the hunter who's seeking, seeking, seeking. It's all here, just like the majestic tree that just stands and receives from all of life. It's all here. So that's the first thing. Imagine that it's all here. And think of everything that you want is flowing to you constantly like a beautiful river. It's all here just flowing to you, flowing to you. Now there happens to be a dam. And that dam is the thing between you and accessing everything that the river is already offering you. A thinking being would see that dam, perhaps, not know how to get to that river and start problem solving about how do I get to the other side of that flowing river where all of the life is, everything that I want. And maybe a thinking creature, because it doesn't know any better, would actually start climbing up the dam wall with its tools and its measuring sticks and its buckets, and it finally gets to the top after a lot of thinking and a lot of hard work, and it starts scooping up what the river's been offering. That's one way to create your reality and access the flow, right? It's a lot of hard work, but a feeling creature would know that the river just flows. It's right here. And the feeling creature would know how to press the button and open the flow gates, and here it comes. And all it had to do was stand and be and receive what was already here. It just needed to open up. Your body, your capacity to feel, that's what a human being does in the doing sense of the word, okay? Receiving is really about opening to the abundance, the flow, the generosity of life, the fulfillment that is already here. And that opening happens when we notice that we're thinking, we stop, we drop into the body, and we start opening to the flow of the feelings. Now, how does that translate to somebody trying to surpass their limits in any area of life? Well, we practice awareness. So if you catch yourself thinking, trying to surpass your upper limit, and you keep hitting it, and you're still caught in problem solving, the first step is to stop the hard work. Get off of the hard work treadmill. Step off. That's stopping, which is the first step in the receiving process. The first step in the receive course is to learn to become aware, and stop is everything. Now you can access the power to choose to feel. And then you bring your awareness into your body and you feel the sensations and you open and you let it move through you. Now, this is a great concept, but if you don't have experience with this, it can be scary. It can feel out of control. It's another skill, something that maybe was malnourished or even absent in your life experience. So you may need some support. It might be a healer, a mentor, a teacher, a counselor, the Receive course, the 30-day challenge where we talk about how to sit and feel and expand in your capacity to open more and more. And here's the key, and feel safe. Receiving requires that you feel safe. When you start to feel safe in feeling, you start to expand your capacity to receive in ways you can't even imagine with the mind. So yes, this is a skill set, but it's absolutely the most natural thing in the world. It's just unfamiliar to those of us who've operated more as ambitious, goal-oriented people because we've overcompensated and over-relied on the doing. And we haven't had as much practice in this whole other aspect of our power. So that is how your body is the key to surpassing your limits with greater ease and speed. It is much faster. It is much more direct. It is more simple. It is more abundant because all you're doing is opening by bringing your awareness into your body and feeling and sensing. So I invite you to just kind of be willing to play with that idea. And if you'd like to learn how to open up, because that's really what receiving is, how do I open up to what is already here? Just explore some of the next steps. I'll include some links. You can get your Receive Oracle cards and start learning about the concepts in a very safe way. Here's the deck. You can get that on Amazon. I'm going to read to you today's card. If I can get it. There it is. Feel sensations. Feel sensations. There's lots of receiving wisdom that you can just gently start learning about. There's a workbook. You can watch the receive videos. Just keep opening up to the wisdom that's here. It will keep going deeper and deeper and nurturing your natural capacity to open to the fulfillment that's already here. And receive. Okay, lots of resources. Above all else, with all these resources, I invite you to join me at the Receive community. That's what it's here for, is to meet other people who are learning how to receive greater fulfillment by unlearning struggle, by stepping off the hard work treadmill, and by tapping into this wisdom. It's all here for you right now if you're willing to stop working hard and start learning how to receive. So here's the mantra for the day. If this speaks to you and you notice that you're thinking, just stop and try this affirmation. I am willing to feel the feeling of my wish fulfilled. I am willing to feel the feeling of my wish fulfilled. If you can imagine what your fulfilled dream feels like, daydream, go to that feeling place and feel it in your body. It is one of the fastest ways to open the floodgates and let more of it in your life instead of trying to problem solve. So if this was helpful to you, please like, please share. It helps me reach the people that I'm here to serve. Check out the links above or below if you're on Facebook or YouTube. Subscribe if you're on YouTube, because I'll notify you each time I release a new video. And have a great rest of your day and weekend. I'll see you next week at the next Rise and Receive. Bye, everybody.